Hi everyone, my name is Julian Moreno and I'm going to explain to you what ICC is. ICC is Intercultural Communicative Competence. So I decided to divide this topic into four terms, but first of all, it's essential to know these five key words. The first is communication, the second is competence, in terms of gain knowledge or being competent into a field, in this case ICC. The third is culture. The fourth is language, that is native and non-native. And the last one is interaction. It could be face-to-face, online, synchronic, or asynchronic. Well, as I already told you, I divide this topic in four terms. The first is what is ICC, is essential to know. The second is where does ICC come from? Because first of all, it wasn't totally educational. It was part of the of the Second World War. The third is multiculturalism perspectives. Multiculturalism is a root of ICC and a root of TESOL, that is teaching English as a second language. And the last one is interaction and importance. In this case, I use some quotations from different books and resources. Well, the main question is, what is ICC? ICC refers to the ability to understand, interact, and communicate effectively and appropriately with people from different cultures, contexts, and environments. It could be possible national or international. Uh, the aim or the main um, ability or the main step is understand what I'm going to say and what they are saying. The second is interact, is understand what they try to say, and the last thing is communicate. That is not the same using an professional language than an average language. In order to develop these activities successfully, is first of all keep in mind my culture and diverse cultures. You always have to establish a relationship between your language or your culture and other cultures, because your culture is not the only one. Secondly, other cultures' identity. In this case, is in terms of clothes or history, customs, and things related to identity. And the last one is diverse backgrounds. In this case, is context or situations, and language. In order to emphasize language, it could be possible academic or non-academic. Well, first of all, we are going to start with the end of the war. This, in this case, people found a link between language and culture. They found that language and culture are not isolated; they are combined. Secondly, it was the origin of the communicative approach, and they found the multiculturalism approach, that is the study of multiple cultures and contexts. The second is the language of communication. Some TESOL resources combine UK and the USA resources in order to understand and try to implement new or authentic materials into a classroom. And the third is the Cold War, human communication. In this case, Americans try to communicate with Russian people, and they try to understand what they think and how they communicate. And the last one is the benefits and the new opportunities. In this case, in TESOL, is the use of authentic material and also understand what others think. Well, in this case, multiculturalism and perspective. So multiculturalism of human communication, it could be possible face-to-face and online interaction. It could be synchronic or asynchronic, is Skype or email. The second is the new emphasis with points of view. The idea of this is try to understand what the other people are trying to say, or try to create a new knowledge about my culture and other cultures. The third is intercultural communication as an intercultural process. Interact with other people, so it's essential to interact with other people to know what others think and to know or to seek about clothes, customs, the way what they think, their beliefs, try to understand what that culture uh, behave and try to adapt it or what my culture have in common with them. The last part is about the authors and quotes that is important in TESOL and teaching English as a second language or teaching Spanish as a second language or teaching some languages. The first is intercultural communication is a social interaction. It's essential to have a social interaction because we can uh, recollect other perspectives and also know more accents. It's not the same Colombian English than native English or UK English, things like that. And it relay actions in terms of the way that the Colombian people behave or you on the UK behave. The second is Furio Bernard, that is a sociologist. Two main ways to build ICC are through experimental learning and reflecting. Experimental is to have contact with native and non-native resources and also with people who know more than us or with teachers who have contact or also online people. Reflect in terms of try to understand what I'm learning and what is the way that I communicate. And the last is Mike Birham. He's a language teacher and he has some intercultural resources. ICC on teaching focuses on the ability to interact with people from another country and culture in a foreign language. In this case, if I'm going to explain a topic in my non-native language, so I have to be more competent, try to understand what the other people think and what are the customs of a no-native country. In this case, I'm trying to seek more information about the USA. I try to understand what they think about us or what are their customs. So the last part is about this author, Michael Biriam. So there are some advantages of ICC. ICC allows students to learn about themselves and others. ICC allows us to reflect or interact with more people or and also learn about more about ourselves. So there are four benefits. The first is building relationships. Uh, Building relationships is essential because we need each other to learn others' opinion. The second is foster the language with ICC to prepare global citizens. In this case is a foster language with culture, not only speak a language, is also prepared to adapt us to a future civilization to be more homogeneous. The third is construct a new knowledge. It's important because it's not the same translate a phrase that have a figurative sense, and the last is a different word use. Um, and this is important because we have a perspective and we need each other perspective to be more critical or to know more about the country. And and the last part is about how to implement in Colombia. In this case, I try to take advantage of these advantages. For example, be building relationships, uh, try to explore with my students uh, new resources or ways to learn English. The second is foster the language with ICC to prepare them to speak a non-native language, in this case English. For example, showing them new accents or ways to behave. The last is construct a new knowledge. In this case, they are going to learn some phrasal verbs or things related to. And the last one is different world views. It's a 50-50. They are going to learn about the non-native. The non-native uh, are going to learn about our culture. Thank you very much.